Right wing, left wing. You, and probably most people in your life, have been labeled one or the other. One side's a conservative, the other a progressive. Originally, both had their strengths, and both are necessary if we actually want a functioning democracy even now. That's because each side points out the other's blind spots. Each side highlights different truths. You're going to need that friction, that balance, if you're trying to run a society without everything collapsing into an authoritarian sludge. But here's the thing, recently it stopped being about balance. It's not about two puzzle pieces fitting together anymore. It's like the pieces were Frankensteined into life given Twitter accounts, and now they're beating the living shit out of each other and torching the whole board while they're at it. In a democracy, governments shift and political parties change every few years. Views change, power rotates, that's normal. You're never going to please everyone and no policy will ever align with every worldview, that's just life. But like it or not, most governments, modern governments, left, right, center, eventually rot into self-serving machines. They stop chasing people and start chasing power. They stop caring why you think the way you do and start caring about how to keep you quiet so that they could sustain their power. Now, to play devil's advocate for a second, it's not entirely their fault. A lot of it comes down to human nature. We get mad drunk on power once we taste it, because power at its core means safety. When people listen to you, follow you, agree with you, it signals that your presence is valued. And if you're valued, you're more likely to survive. This goes back like 10 bajillion years, prehistoric tribal stuff. I'm not gonna go into that all now. The point is, your brain is wired to equate influence with survival. Once you feel that safety, you'll chase it again and again. Like when you're in a friend group and they pick your hangout spot suggestion. You feel good, included, trusted, less likely to be exiled, mocked, or stabbed in the back because your opinion meant something, and that means you're safe. So, you're trying to repeat that via your actions, sometimes even subconsciously. But I'm straying off topic. Let's pick it back up. What happens when governments get drunk on power and start sacrificing their people to keep it? That's when the left and right should unite, not against each other, but against the rot. The right then calls out progressive overreach. That's literally how we stopped Orwell's 1984 from becoming a reality so far. Mass surveillance, censorship, all of it pushed at one point or another throughout history under the banner of progress. Without that pushback, it would have stuck. The left's duty is to call out conservative regression. Women, for example, didn't just get voting rights. That was earned and fought for by progressives who challenged outdated norms, and more things like civil rights, labor laws, education reforms, all pushed forward by those who refused to cling to the past. Without either side doing their job, we'd be completely fucked. They're supposed to check each other, keep the system honest, keep the government aware of the consequences of unchecked power. Now, once a political party wins, they don't just rule for their side, be it right or left wing, they govern for everyone. That's the whole point of democracy. If you win, you lead, but not just your fans. But right now, we're kind of far from it. The left, frustrated and overwhelmed by decades of conservative overreach, started leaning so far left, they looped around like a damn Ouroboros, eating their own tail in a closed, self-reinforcing loop. No criticism allowed in, no dissent tolerated, they've become rigid, puritanical, ironically more censorious than the very conservative they once fought against. Meanwhile, the right-wingers were mocked, pushed out, and villainized without ever being heard, thus retreated into their own echo chambers. They doubled down, dug in, and now they won't take anything the left says seriously anymore, not even when it's valid. Because when a group refuses to validate you, even a little bit, your brain stops caring whether they're right. You just want to see them lose. You want to be vindicated. Just to be clear, that's not healthy. Neither side wants to listen, neither side wants to concede, so neither side learns a damn thing. The result? Two sealed echo chambers. There's no feedback, there's no dialogue, just rage, looping forever like a feedback mic in a locked room. And here's why that's dangerous. Humans are social creatures. We grow by clashing. talking, arguing, reflecting, adjusting. But if no one's allowed to say, hey, maybe you're wrong, then no one ever grows. And when two people argue without listening, they don't get quieter. They get louder and louder and louder until eventually... Yeah, wars don't just start over land or money. They often start when one or more sides refuses to see the other. They start when everyone becomes obsessed with being right and forgets how to be human. So, no, right and left aren't inherently dumb. What's dumb is turning them into cults, or worse, culture war. What's dangerous is building a society based on echo chambers with no feedback, no friction, just emotional autopilot, constant reactivity, which many people thrive on, by the way, in the internet, if you've been aware so far. No effort to hear the other side, just knee-jerk dissent and disapproval. And the scariest part, most people don't even realize they're inside a bubble. Remember when we talked about power and how belonging means safety? Well, if you're on the left or right winger, guess what? You automatically belong to a group. And as long as you stick to your side, no matter if it's right or wrong, you stay included. Which means... you're safe. And stepping out of that, even questioning it, you're potentially risking your life. But if you stay this far into the video, I'm willing to bet that you're not most people. That means there's a hope for us after all, and that's what matters. Remember, there might be two parties, two sides, two narratives, but we only have one species, one planet, one future. Listening to the other side, especially when you don't agree with them, is hard. It sucks. It hurts your pride. Especially when it means you have to give up a part of your belief and ego. But it is worth it, if I may say. And if even one of you watching right now tries, a little bit, then maybe, just maybe, we're not that screwed after all. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a pleasant day.